Hey familia, Miranda here, and yes, I am back finally, you guys. I just need a little break from YouTube, kind of clear my mind and stuff and kind of figure things out. But I am back, so thank you everyone for sticking around, and if you're new here, welcome. But anywho, today's video is actually going to be something a little bit different. It's actually a sort of series that I'm going to start doing here on my channel called First Viewing, which basically it's like a never seen it series, but since never seen it is so overused, I'm calling mine First Viewing. And so basically I'm going to be sharing with you guys my thoughts, if I recommend or not, these films that I am watching for the very first time. So I do have a huge stack because I have been watching a lot of movies lately. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into those. I don't know exactly how often I will be doing this kind of video. It's just, I guess, going to depend, you know, on how many films I actually have that I haven't seen and stuff. So we'll see, but I'm kind of thinking maybe like a bi-weekly thing. Again, don't know yet. But anywho, you guys, hopefully you enjoy this new series that I will be starting. So let's go ahead and jump right on into the films that I have to share with you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off with all the Blu-rays. So Labor Day, I did watch this for the first time and I actually really did enjoy this. I gotta say, Kate Winslet is one of those actresses that outside of like Titanic, she really knows how to pick her roles. Like everything that I've seen her in, like after Titanic, I've really enjoyed. This film, I will say, wasn't exactly quite what I was expecting. Like I didn't even read into this. I got this because, you know, Labor Day. And so I actually watched it the day after Labor Day because I didn't get a chance to watch it on actual Labor Day. But yeah, I enjoyed this film. I thought she was great. It's a sweet story. Nice little, you know, romance flick. So yeah, I did enjoy this one. So definitely check this one out. Next up is Blitz. So this is a title I've actually had sitting around for a long time. Picked this up a while ago at Dollar Tree. And to my surprise, this was actually pretty dang decent, you guys. I mean, it's not Statham's best performance, but I did enjoy this for what it is. Like the storyline is solid. He's a cop. He's kind of a badass cop, always kind of getting into trouble. And so there's a cop killer out there. And so obviously, you know, he's trying to hunt him down and whatnot. But yeah, there's some pretty good action in here. There's some blood. But yeah, I thought overall that this was a pretty good little flick. So yeah, definitely check this one out. Next we have Black Phone. This was one that I was hoping to go see in theaters. Didn't get a chance to. But yeah, Ethan Hawke as the grabber. Very creepy, but very good performance from him. Both kids in this film were excellent, but I will say I totally get where people were like, oh, the sister stole the spotlight. She's a freaking hoot, you guys. She was just awesome. I loved her. There is a couple of really good jump scares in this one that got to me, but this is a really, really good flick, you guys. I really, really enjoyed this. Okay, so Licorice Pizza, you guys. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it is, but I honestly wouldn't put this at the top of my like coming of age, you know, list. But, you know, the chemistry between the two main characters I thought was really good. I mean, the storyline, it's good, but it's just, I don't know, it was just very like chill, like a very laid back watch. I didn't really find it to be like very exciting. I didn't really get the hype about this film, but I did enjoy it. But yeah, so kind of mixed feelings on this one. So next we have The Wave, has a really cool lenticular on it. This movie though, I really, really enjoyed this. So it's a little bit slow, I will say, but it definitely builds up in intensity. It gets your anxiety going because the event that takes place in this film, it's like you know it's going to happen, but you don't know when it will happen. And when it does, it's totally worth the wait, you guys. But it's just a very kind of unique story. And it is based on a true story. Like this kind of things does actually like happen and stuff. It takes place in Norway, which honestly it is. It's kind of scary. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. And there's even some kind of emotional moments, kind of heartbreaking at times. But yeah, The Wave, definitely check this one out. Our Idiot Brothers. So this film, I actually, you know, going in, really didn't expect much from this. But holy moly, like Paul Rudd is just freaking amazing in this film. Like his character is just so freaking likable, just so, you know, like happy all the time, so positive and whatnot. And I gotta say that this is probably one of his best performances. I loved Paul Rudd in this. It's just a fun little flick, you guys. Like his whole family just, you know, everything's kind of going a mess once he kind of comes back into their lives and stuff. And yeah, it's loads of fun, you guys. I had quite a few great laughs with this one, so definitely, yeah, you gotta watch this one. Ambulance, I loved this, you guys. Isa Gonzalez definitely stole the show in this, you guys. She was so freaking good in this. And it's just one crazy non-stop you know, like high-speed chase kind of thing. And it's great. There's some action and everything in this, and it's just a really good film. The Beaver, you guys, very depressing, heartbreaking, very relatable, you guys. This film, Mel Gibson, he delivered a great performance in this. Very serious, but a very heartbreaking, you know, role to play. Things with this little beaver got a little weird at times, but overall, I really enjoyed this one. But it is sort of a hard watch, especially, you know, if you're suffering like from depression and stuff like that. This one does kind of really get to you. It kind of sticks with you. So definitely, you know, heads up there. But yeah, like I said, it's very depressing and very heartbreaking. But I'm sure, you know, the whole concept, you know, just the topic of this film, it's not easy, you guys, but definitely worth a watch. Men is one bizarre film, you guys. Like, I really did enjoy this one, but it's definitely gonna take me another watch to kind of process this film, because like I don't even know how to process this film, you guys. It is just so, like, the way the story builds up is just so odd, you guys. The last like 10-15 minutes or so is just freaking what? It's just kind of wild, man. It's not what I was expecting at all. But very good flick. And can I just say, the little, like, the kid, whatever, he's very creepy, man. But yes, Men, very interesting flick here. But again, it's one I gotta, you know, watch another time and just process it, because it's something else. Vivo, you guys, this was one film that I had never really heard about when it first came out, and honestly, even to this day, like, I feel like not enough people know about this film, but this was actually, to my surprise, very good. I highly recommend this one. It is a lot of fun. The story of this, though, is a bit heartbreaking, but this film is also just so full of heart. This girl right here, she's just so fun. She's so spunky. Vivo, who's played by Lin-Manuel Miranda, he was excellent. But it's, you know, just a really great film. Like, the songs in this are just so upbeat and kind of put you in a really good mood. So this is a great little kind of pick-me-up film. But again, parts of it are heartbreaking, but there's a lot of heart in this film. So definitely recommend this one. Okay, so Minions Rise of Gru, you guys. I mean, obviously here in my household, we're fans of the Minions, of Despicable Me. And if you are too, then you probably will end up liking this film. I gotta say, though, I didn't necessarily love the storyline of this one, but it's still fun. There's a couple scenes in this that me and my family were literally like dying laughing. It just has some really good moments, and you know, Minions, they're always fun, always goofy. So I mean, that's something to always look forward to with them. So I definitely liked this one. Okay, so Fantastic Beasts, Secrets of Dumbledore. I have to say, this was my least favorite from the franchise. I mean, it's still called Fantastic Beasts, but I really don't feel like we got to see like much beasts in this, except for like the one that this story kind of revolves around. So yeah, and I was super bummed that Grindelwald was no longer Johnny Depp. So, you know, that kind of threw this film off a bit for me, because I did love Johnny Depp as Grindelwald. But yeah, I mean, this was okay, but like I said, it's definitely my least favorite of the franchise. So next we have Salo, or The 120 Days of Sodom. This film, you guys, it was not exactly what I was expecting. And I guess that's kind of a good thing. But this movie was just super, I don't know, it was gross, y'all. It just had some gross moments. There's a lot of graphic nudity and like sex stuff in this one. And it's just, it's messed up, you guys. For real, it's messed up. Some of the things that happen in this film, but yeah, I really am still kind of trying to process this one. Like, I really don't know what to think about it. It's obviously not one I'm gonna say that I love, but I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good, you know? So Salo, it's definitely one that's kind of, you know, if you want to check it out, do, but I don't exactly recommend it just because of the nature of this film. So now we have Sisters. This film is freaking hilarious. It is such a blast. Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, they have such amazing like on-screen chemistry. They were fire together, you guys. Honestly, I just had a super good time with this film. I will say it was a tad bit long. Like, I feel like they could have, you know, shaved off a bit of the time, but it was a blast. And the party, man, the party was epic. I've never seen like, you know, a party like that in any sort of film. And what I liked is that, you know, in most kind of, you know, films, you know, party scenes and stuff, they usually, it's only in there, you know, a few minutes and stuff. So they kind of just, you know, you don't really get a lot from the parties. But with this, I feel like half of the film was at least the party, and it was epic, you guys. It was insane. It was just, it was fun. Such a good movie, you guys. So if you're looking for some good laughs, definitely Sisters, check this one out. So I don't know why Night and Day gets a lot of hate, but I actually rather enjoyed this one. Thought Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz were really good together. I mean, it's not their best performances, but I had fun with this one. There was definitely, you know, some good, you know, comedic moments in this film. There's lots of action, and yeah, I had a blast with this one. So now we have Pink Flamingos. This film is like so trashy that it's good. Honestly, it's just one of those films that's like, what the fuck am I watching, you know? So this was a very interesting watch. It's very raunchy, very gross, very inappropriate. So yeah, not really much else to say on this film other than that. It's just, it's trash, but it's enjoyable trash. So I don't know what took me so long to finally watch Signs, but I really enjoyed this one, you guys. It's definitely creepy. I get where, you know, the fright comes from for many people and whatnot. All four of them were excellent in this film, you guys. You know, alien stuff, it's always kind of creepy and whatnot. But anywho, there was one scene in particular that, oh my goodness, it gave me the goosebumps, man. Like, I think it was where like the little girl, she had like gone downstairs because she said that she saw a monster or whatever outside, and so it's funny because like instead of her to like asking to like sleep with her dad or whatever, she's afraid. No, she goes and asks for water. But no, then when the dad takes her back to her room and looks outside, and there's that black figure on the roof. I don't know why, but like, it felt like I jumped out of my skin, you guys. Like, I had goosebumps. I don't know what it was about it, but it scared the heck out of me. But yeah, it's a really good film. Just kind of makes you question, you know, about these kinds of things. So moving on to the DVDs. So I did watch Willow for the first time, and I really love this one. It's a great little, you know, kind of fantasy flick, and all of the characters in this are just some really fun characters, and they all just gave great performances. But yeah, I watched this one with hubby, and he really enjoyed it too. There's just some great comedy in this, some great fantasy moments and whatnot, and yeah, it's a really awesome flick. So this movie, Freeway, it was all right. Reese Witherspoon, she was actually really good in this. I really enjoyed her character, very badass, and kind of, I don't know, like a less serious role from her, something different for Reese Witherspoon, and just to hear her cursing up a storm in this film was just it was awesome, you guys. But I really enjoyed her character in this film. She was honestly the best part of it. I feel like though the storyline kind of lacked with the whole aspect of the I-5 killer, because it's technically supposed to be about him and how, you know, she gets picked up by him and stuff, and then, you know, he pretends to be this like nice dude, and then, you know, kind of reveals that he's the I-5 killer and whatnot. So yeah, I feel like we didn't get enough from that part of the story, but again, Reese Witherspoon, she made up for that. So the remainder of the DVDs are actually ones that I have gotten from like Dollar Tree or Hamilton Book, because I have a lot of ones that have just been blind buys and stuff, and so I've been trying to get on trying to watch those films. So I did watch The Boat. This one was okay, probably a one-time watch for me though. I mean, it's a solid sort of horror flick, if you will. But basically the guy, he's stranded on this boat, and so all of these like crazy, you know, things are happening to him. It's like one thing after another, and yeah, it was solid. Not a great flick, but it was solid. Zelig, I'm sorry, but this was boring, you guys. I do not recommend this one. It really wasn't what I was expecting. It was filmed more like a sort of like a documentary format, because there was like people talking, they were like kind of showing pictures and stuff like that. So it wasn't entertaining. So yeah, I had a bore with this one, so no. All Between Us. So I was really hoping to like this film, but unfortunately it was just kind of stupid, and not even a good stupid, you guys. You know, Tiffany Haddish is in here, and also Denise Lawton. I recognize her from like other films and stuff like that, but it just felt like all of these characters, they didn't have like any chemistry at all. And I mean, the storyline just really, it was flawed. It just didn't click with me. So I wanted to like this one more, but no, I couldn't. So The Sorcerer and the White Snake, I actually enjoyed this one. Not the best from Jet Li, but yeah, there's a lot of like great fantasy elements, great visuals in this film, and I thought that the storyline was actually really good. It was a very unique kind of film, but there's some great, you know, like martial arts stuff going on in this, and just the whole storyline itself is actually pretty good. So I actually would recommend this one if you're into the whole, you know, kind of, you know, fantasy stuff and like martial arts and whatnot. So yeah, this definitely has some great elements to it, so definitely recommend this one. Junior Detective Agency. So it was kind of corny. It is what it is. It's just a kid who is into doing detective stuff because his dad's a detective too. And so basically him trying to help crack a case and whatnot. So yeah, it was pretty cheesy, but I mean, you know, it was all right. It's an okay little like family flick and whatnot. So yeah. Lost Wilderness, I actually really enjoyed this one. The parents in this film, I really didn't care for their acting, but the kids here, I thought that they were all great. And so basically it is them getting lost. So like, you know, their parents are dating, and so they take this little like trip, and so they get lost in the wilderness, and they don't really like each other. They're not really kind of like into getting to know each other, but it ends up, you know, them having to, you know, be out in the wilderness on their own, and, you know, try and come together, work together and stuff, because like a lot of things happen. Like it's just one thing after another that keeps happening to them, and so them finally coming together. Like it's a pretty heartwarming film. There's a lot of you know, heart in this. So yeah, I really did enjoy this one. Edge of Winter. So I actually really like Joel Kinnaman, and I thought that this was actually kind of a different sort of role for him. Tom Holland, you guys, he played one of the sons. He was actually really good. I think he was probably the best part of this film. The little brother, he was good too, but basically, you know, it's this dad, he goes out on this little sort of trip with his two sons, and basically like he has shared custody, you know, with the mom, but the mom is, you know, she remarried, and so they're looking to move like out of the country, and so he's afraid to lose his sons, and so he just kind of goes like off the rocker, like he's a lunatic in this. it's very, very intense. Definitely, you know, gets your anxiety going. So overall, it's pretty good watch. Good performance from Joel Kinnaman, but it's not necessarily like my favorite of his. Again, Tom Holland, he really makes this film. So Edge of Winter, if you're into that kind of thing, I mean, he basically takes his kids, like, you know, kidnaps them because he does not want to lose them. And yeah, if you want to see Joel Kinnaman go crazy, this is the film. Wishman. This is the story of one of the co-founders of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, but you really don't get a whole lot from the Make-A-Wish Foundation in this film until like kind of the very end. But it is actually about like his life and kind of what led up to creating the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So his name is Frank Shankwitz, and you guys, I love this. I loved it so, so much. It is just a very, very emotional film. Like, I was bawling my eyes out several times. I definitely do recommend this one. This is one that I got at Dollar Tree, and yeah, it's definitely a keeper. It is just so, it's heartbreaking, but also heartwarming. And it's just everything that he had to go through, even like as a kid until he, you know, became an adult and stuff like that. And, you know, it just kind of shows kind of the sort of person he was before something that he experienced, which led him to create the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So very, very good film, you guys. So I highly recommend this one. But just beware, you will need a box of tissues. Right, couple more. Breakpoint. I actually really enjoyed this one. This was super funny. Jeremy Sisto's character in this is kind of a douche. But the kid who's in this, man, he was a total hoot. He was so funny, you guys. He was so adorable. But it is a great little like tennis flick. If you're into the whole tennis thing, like, I mean, you don't really see a whole lot of tennis movies. So I thought that this definitely, you know, gave us that, you know, tennis feel. We got to see a lot of it and just some great comedy too. So Breakpoint, yes. All right, last but not least, we have Skyscraper Inferno. So basically, it's a knockoff of, you know, Skyscraper with Dwayne Johnson. Pretty much the same kind of storyline. You know, there's these parents, their kids, they're, you know, caught in an elevator shaft and whatnot. And so it's them trying to save them because the place is burning down. I will say though, like I felt like the fire itself, because they gave you lots of like shots from like the outside of the building, it felt like the fire was like hardly even progressing, like for, you know, it being like an explosion that happened. I don't know, just the rate that the fire was progressing just didn't seem kind of realistic to me. But overall, it's a really good film. I thought, you know, if you like Skyscraper, I definitely think that you will like this one, even though it is kind of more low budget. But yeah, I like Skyscraper Inferno. So that is it, you guys. Sorry for making this video so long, but I had a lot that I wanted to get in to share with you guys. But, you know, in the future, I don't think that the videos will be as long because I will have less. But yeah, there was just a lot of films that I wanted to talk about this time around. So hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know if you guys have seen any of these films and what you thought of them, especially like the Dollar Tree ones. I'm always kind of curious to hear what people have to say about that. But anywho, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the family if you have not, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.